How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, back at it here in the Crimson Wire room. I did a video here a couple weeks ago where I interviewed one of my friends who is the assistant coach at Mayfield, Josiah Herrera. That video did pretty well, as over 200 views, pretty quick. Maybe we can hit 300 soon. I had a video a couple months ago about Serge Rice, talking about how well he was playing the preseason. I believe he had 13 points in one and 14 in the other. The one where I was talking about his 13-point outing, that video has nearly 600 views. So I'm hoping to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, and hoping that we hit 1,000 subscribers as a YouTube channel by the time I graduate in May. Today's video will probably be a little bit quicker than previous ones. Just gonna talk about a handful of topics today. I've been posting on social media. So if you guys have been on social media and seen my posts, you already know what this is about. If you guys do not follow the Instagram and Twitter accounts, make sure you guys go do that. It's just at NM State MBB News, just like the YouTube channel here. I know I said that a lot, but I know there's new people that come in. I believe we just hit over 840 subscribers, so that's huge. Sometimes with the YouTube following account, sometimes it goes down and it'll go up, or it'll just stay the same for a while. So we're at 841, and I'm just hoping to continue to rise from there. The first thing I want to talk about in today's video is that the Aggies will be playing in the 2025 Cancun Challenge, obviously in Cancun, at a really nice hotel over there. They actually played in the challenge a couple years ago when it was Coach Huon's first year. Played against Fresno State, but did end up losing that game. I believe it was 81-76, but put up a good fight. I think Keelan Dorsey got in the game. I think Robert Carpenter had a good game, like 20 points or something. I can't remember exactly on the top of my head. But that was a game that we should have won. We were up the whole game. Jalen Harris played well. Jalen Jackson-Posey, Casey, the whole team played pretty well. We just fumbled it back at the end. That was a game I was really frustrated with. I remember it was during Thanksgiving break, and I was watching it, and I thought we were going to go 4-2 after a big home win, but we just didn't get the job done, unfortunately. We also played against Southern Illinois the very next day. I think the Aggies were a little tired or maybe discouraged from the day before. They lost that game 81-54. So they allowed the same amount of points, but just didn't put up nearly enough. And allowing a team to score over 80, not ideal all the time. I can't remember how much we allowed our opponents to score last year, but as you guys know, our defense was really good. Our offense wasn't. In that game, neither our offense or our defense was good. Kind of reminds me of that Western Kentucky game last year. We lost by 32. And I was actually talking to a friend about this earlier when I was playing basketball at the activity center here on campus, talking about how last season was just so weird at times. We beat UTEP by nearly 30 points on the road, but then lost them at 3. But, we just had a really bad shooting performance, so if we would just shot the ball a little bit better, we would have won that game easily. And Western Kentucky lost them by 32 on the road and beat them by 18 at home on senior day. So it's really crazy how conference works. Some pretty respectable mid-major schools will be playing this as well. Stanford University is one of them, Georgia State, Utah Valley, former WAC opponent. South Dakota State and UC Irvine are also in the tournament. The Aggies seen them play against UC Irvine a lot. I know they would beat them a lot whenever we had Coach Jans. That last year they beat them in the first game of the season, I believe. But then from there on out, we haven't been able to beat them. We lost to them when GH was here. I'm not going to say his full name, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And we also lost to them in Hooten's third game here, coaching 91-74. I think it was 17 points both times played against them recently. I could be wrong. Hopefully we can get back with them. And, we have Jamel Jones, who's played a bunch of, against a bunch of California schools. Not sure if he played against UC Irvine specifically, but I want to say he did because they're in the same conference, I believe. So hopefully he can, have some familiarity there and just dominate. A fun fact I want to throw in is that Bakersfield used to be part of the WAC as well. And obviously, Utah Valley. So there's some similarity there with all those schools. The first game of this challenge will actually take place here at the Pan American Center, play against Sanford at 7 p.m. on November 21st, which is a Friday. I believe that's the start of Thanksgiving break, which I think I'll be here for that. There was a home game during Thanksgiving break in Hooten's first year here that I couldn't go to against Northern Colorado, which was the Aggies' first Division I win. It was a big home win. Came back from 16. Femi Udikali's debut, had 18 points, but didn't shoot well from the free throw line. And as you guys know, he never really could shoot well from the free throw line. But I believe he's doing good for himself now, so that's good. It'll be nice to be able to go to that game because I'm not sure if a lot of my friends will be there or be able to go. And who knows, I might always be helping behind the scenes with the media relations for the school, which for the football game this past week, which the Aggies won 19-3, so shout out to them. I helped with the announcer, made sure he got the names correct of the players and the numbers correct. That way when he announces it, to the crowd, that way he's not making any mistakes there. So that was a cool experience for me to be behind the scenes. There'll be some games I'm there taking photos, some helping with the stats online, and I'll be doing that for all sports, helping with the scoreboard for like soccer, baseball, softball. So it should be a fun little gig to do. The Aggies will play against UC Irvine again on November 25th, I believe at 6 p.m. That's a Tuesday. They'll be in Cancun. And then they play against Georgia State the next day at around 1. So it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround, but we've been experienced with that in the past, and hopefully they can just play well through it. Past couple of tournaments we've done the past couple of years with Hooten, haven't been able to get a win yet. Gone 0-2 in both. I feel like last year we could have won both of them. I feel like the year before that could have won that Fresno State game. That's an Illinois game. They were a really good team. I didn't think we were going to be able to beat them. I thought Fresno State was going to be a tough game, but we put ourselves in the best position possible to win, just like the 2 games last year. Just didn't come out on top. And that's really super frustrating. I think we lost to, it was Bowling Green, and then the Aggie football team lost to UTEP that day after leading by 17. Then they went down by 18, ended up losing by 7. So very frustrating overall. And I remember earlier we were talking about the tournament that they're in, the Cancun Challenge in 2023. The very next game after that, playing against Louisville, and we almost had a Power 5 win, but again the Aggies blew like an 8-point lead in a minute 15. Like, how the heck do you do that? And the same day the Blazers went against the Bucks, so going against Dame for the first time, the Blazers were up 81-55 in the third quarter, and ended up losing that game by 6 points. I was like, how did we blow a 26-point lead? So my two favorite teams blew like very big leads. Like, you just never ever see like in your lifetime ever again. That's like a once in a lifetime meltdown. Like, I don't know what I did wrong to deserve that. Literally blowing an 8-point lead in the minute 15. How do you do that? And then blowing a 26-point lead in the third quarter. How do you do that? It's the Marshall curse or something, I guess. Overall, really excited to see how they're going to do. I know I've been trying to hype up the team a lot. If you guys follow, I think it's Mid-Major Madness on Twitter, they predicted NMSU to finish second. I think they went more in depth and said, it's one of those teams that, they could definitely fall to 6th or 7th possibly if things don't go their way, if they beat themselves. But best case scenario, they can definitely finish second. I can't remember if he had Liberty at first or who he had up there. I think he had UTEP at 6th or 7th. Just really looking forward to see how they're going to do. Last year, 17-15 went 5th in conference. Could have easily been like, top 3, if not higher. Just beat ourselves a lot. I think there was a really good, last year, if you look at it, there was only 6 games where we were truly out of it. There was 9 other games that we lost that, could have easily been wins. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out for sure. Elijah Christopher is a high school athlete right now that the Aggies offered out of the class of 2027. Plays for Darrow School in New Lebanon, New York. Pretty solid player, pretty athletic. There's some more players that we offered that I need to look into and make posts about, and that'll be my next video. I could try to talk about it in this video, but I think it'll be good to get 2 separate videos, especially since I don't know a whole lot about those guys just yet. I figured might as well try to look into them a little bit more. And I knew there was something going to this video. I was like, what was there that I was going to add? And I totally figured out what it was, blanked out. But now that we're talking about this guy, totally remember now. He followed me on Instagram. A couple other athletes followed me on Instagram. I know on the day of the football game, I was talking to one of the guys that works in sports PR here for the school. He was saying that they're having like a junior day or something. For those that don't know what that is, pretty much juniors in high school, kind of trying to get, a look, maybe get some offers, get some visits. Obviously as a senior, that's much more like, got to get it done. But it's good for juniors, to get ahead of the game a little bit, to have something to lean back on. That's going to close out for the video today. Be on the lookout for posts later today on my social media accounts or here on the YouTube channel as the week goes on, probably within the next couple days or so. Could be today, could be tomorrow. Just depends on what I have on time for. Kind of tired, doing a lot of work recently. I have a busy schedule, but it's a good busy. So really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out.